guys like us to introduce everyone first, or when they get, if there's a question asked, would you like them to state their name?
Introduce first, please.
Okay. Daniel Camp, Beaver County Commissioner, DANIELCAMP.
Tony Amadeo, Beaver County Commissioner, AMADIO.
Josh Kale, State Representative, KAIL.
Rob Matzi, State Representative, MATZIE.
Jim Marshall, State Representative.
Jack Manning, Beaver County Commissioner, MANNING.
Good afternoon, everyone. The purpose of this press conference isn't necessarily to give an update on what Shell's operations and procedures are. But I think the time has come and someone needs to say what many people are thinking. The Shell cracker plant must be temporarily suspended due to the involving COVID-19 pandemic. My desire, our desire, to see the completion of this plant will not cloud the judgment when it comes to the health and safety of the county's citizens. Our motto has always been, divided by its rivers, united by its people. And I stand here on behalf of our county residents, as a Beaver County Chairman, to affirm that no business, regardless of size, is immune to the virus. The site shall not be granted some unilateral exception from the controls our governor has put in place. I stand united with our residents with their concerns, and I'm calling on Governor Wolf to address this situation in light of Shell's minimal changes. Shell cannot put our county and its residents at a county-wide pandemic by continuing to have our dedicated men and women potentially exposed to this COVID-19 virus.
I have a question. Considering that the governor has instruction on essential businesses that can stay open, I understand you just urged him to do that. Do you think this will happen because many people living in Beaver County are concerned that it is open?
So that's one of my biggest concerns right now is how can we ask our small businesses on the main street of Beaver and throughout the Commonwealth to close down, but we are still operating a construction site with 8,000 people. That's one of the biggest concerns we're getting. Our residents are concerned of, will these people continue to go out? Will they continue to spend money at the facilities that are still open? It's a very serious issue that we're going to face here in the near future, and it's only a matter of when it's going to happen.
Have you talked to the governor and he has executive powers to do this?
Had a conversation with Secretary of Legislative Affairs this morning. It's obviously fluid relative to not only the cracker plant but other closures. I know other states are also exploring doing a variety of measures relative to their emergency management protocol. I think it will continue to increase as far as essential and non-essential businesses as we move forward. No clear-cut confirmation yet on what those will be, but as I said, I think every day goes by and more people take this serious, more and more entities will be on that list. The administration, as far as I'm understanding, is not there yet relative to construction and or the cracker, but I believe that as more and more people internally there, whether they're workers or the public at large, continue to talk about not only the site but other avenues of where the employees are going, whether they live here or they live within a 100-mile radius. There's that concern of the community spread.
The governor has the power to shut it down?
That's the question. I mean, I believe that he does personally, but I'm a Democrat, so I can't speak for my other colleagues that are up here. But I believe that if he decided to, the law is pretty clear as far as a mandate. If he does that, make that decision, that he can't do that.
What have your communications been with Shell? I mean, obviously you talked to them right before this news conference. What are they telling you?
Our delegation has been in constant communication. We've had several phone calls over the last few days. I believe that they understand the problem. They know we're concerned about public safety. I believe that Shell's also concerned about public safety and the safety of the workers on site. And I believe that they will take the appropriate steps to make this site as safe as possible. And I really believe that they have what's important. The workers.
What is safe? Is safe shutting it down? Safe shutting it down?
I can't say that that's what they'll do. I think that's
what you want them to do, right?
I think that they need to scale back, and I'm concerned about the workers in the lunchrooms and the buses, and we need to make sure that this doesn't become an epidemic there, and our healthcare system doesn't have the capacity if that entire place becomes problematic.
Commissioner Camp, you don't believe that they can make this site safe, right? I mean, if they spaced or had more buses, you believe it has to be shut down, correct?
I believe that we should all follow the PA Department of Health and the CDC guidelines. And right now, the way they're currently operating, whether they are adding buses or separating lunchrooms, we are still getting the complaints from the residents, the workers there, about how unsafe the situation is. I understand that you can't just completely let go of 8,000 employees. You know, they have to make sure their site is safe whenever they leave, structurally. So I think it's important that they take those steps to do so. But right now, with 8,000 people in such a small space, commuting by bus, eating lunch in the same cafeteria, waiting in the same bus lines, no matter how many buses you put there are still going to be a line of people waiting to get on the bus. So I think it's important that they continue to take those steps.
But who has the ear of Shell right now? I mean, it doesn't seem like Shell's saying, okay, come 2 o'clock today, we're voluntarily shutting down. It seems as if you guys all have to get involved. It seems as if you're asking the governor to get involved. It seems as if you're begging someone to shut them down.
So, I worked in this industry for a long time. It's not a switch that you can flip on and off when you got 8,000 folks there. Shell is hearing us. I know Shell wants to be a good neighbor and wants to be responsible to Beaver County. This is their home now too. They don't want to have an infection and outbreak any more than we do. We're all in agreement that there's the potential for a very catastrophic outbreak if something happens with 8,000 people coming in and out. What we've been expressing behind the scenes with the state delegation, and what I assume the governor's office is doing, is talking to them in a manner that gets them to move forward to mitigate that happening. That's the worst case scenario. We don't want to see an outbreak happen on the site. So I have confidence that Shell will do the right thing, as they've been doing the right thing, as they've responded to citizen requests and municipal requests all along in this project. They've always been responsive to those things. So I believe they're listening to multiple voices telling them there's a sense of urgency, that we're concerned about what could happen there and the impact it could have on our ability to handle this in Beaver County with the number of beds we have, respirators we have, those kinds of things. Something happens there, our system is overwhelmed, and now we've got a further exacerbation of a potential countywide issue.
So, being a little contradictory or unclear. I mean, if you believe it needs to be shut down, it needs to be shut down. But some of you seem to be saying, oh, they can make changes to make it more palatable.
No, I don't think we're saying that at all.
Okay, so it should be shut down.
We think it ought to be temporarily shut down.
Yes. Another question, what exactly is Shell saying? Are they saying, no, we're not shutting down, yes we are, we're thinking about it, or we're in the process? What exactly are they saying to you right now?
They're in discussions today. I'm sure we've been discussing it with them for the past 2 days, and I think we're going to hear something from them eventually.
Something from them when, Don?
Eventually, sooner than not. And they're listening. I mean, the thing I explained to them when I talked to them back in 2012, when we first started talking, it was safety. Everything was safer. So I'm sure it's just a matter of time.
I'm sure you guys have watched the news. Has anyone want to respond to this?
Don't assume that.
Yeah, well, maybe you hope
quite frankly, we've been trapped in here for a few days.
If you see the news or the pictures coming out from the Shell workers, they've all been emailing us, mass emailing the TV stations.
We're getting the same messages.
Yeah, right. So you see the pictures, you see them crowding. My question is, A, does that look safe to you? And B, are they testing on site or doing anything like that?
I'll take B first.
Sorry.
We cannot. I cannot personally answer if they're testing on site. I know they have their own medical facility, so we can't answer that question. As for the pictures, we were in the conference room today, and we're getting them as they're happening today of these facilities. So I think that's one of the important messages that we want to send out there today is it's time to shut down. Do what you have to do, but get to that point where we don't have anyone on that site, because as Commissioner Manning said, if something happens there, our healthcare facility will not be able to undertake what they will have to do. We only have 40 ventilators in our local hospital systems here. With 8,000 workers, if something serious happened, we'd be in trouble. So that's really our major concern is to make sure those hospitals are open and free for people who need those services.
So you believe that there's no way that they can make that site safe? I don't know how many buses they take in, how much spacing they have, all that kind of stuff.
I think right now, the way to make it safe is to follow the guidelines from the CDC and the PA Department of Health. And until they do so, if they could accommodate those guidelines, then I would say it would be safe. But right now, they're not able to accommodate those.
Will they let you guys know if they're testing on site if there is a positive case? How will we figure that out?
So the way I can speak for that, just because of our positive case on Monday night,
Right.
The way the chain of command happens right now is the first case that is confirmed in your county, the PA Department of Health will notify your EMS director, ours is Eric Brewer. Thereon after, they will not notify you. It's up to you to continue to talk to them and say, do we have any cases? Hospitals, we have a very good open line of connection with our Heritage Valley Hospital here and UPMCs. So we are checking with them daily to find out if there are any positive cases going into our local hospitals. But no, there will be no chain of command from any organization who does the testing.
And can we talk just to the Beaver County community, because you know we'll be putting this on. We don't want to panic. Let's take a breath here for a second. And I know we're talking about Shell, and we're talking about 8,000 people, but can you give us a common line on what you want the people to know?
Absolutely. I think, you know, what Governor Wolf is putting out, stay home, stay safe. I think in his press conference earlier this week when he said, don't panic, don't go out and hoard food. You go to the grocery store once a week, continue to do that. Continue to go about your life as is. But if you don't have to be outside, stay inside. Don't hoard. You know, there's a lot of people who are going to need a lot of things here. So if you could help a neighbor out who's elderly, it could fall underneath the age limit where you're more a higher risk. Help them out. So you know, it takes a community to get over something like this, and I think Beaver County can.
Just one other thing I would add to that. Stay calm.
Sorry.
Yeah, stay calm, stay safe, stay home, and stay off social media. Because I do think that's exacerbating the mental health right now. Go to reputable websites for information, reputable news sites, and stay off social media, because what we're seeing there is just exacerbating the angst and the mental health of our county.
How are you guys staying safe, being together all the time, making these big time decisions?
Courthouse smells like a hospital, I can tell you that. We keep our distance. We're watching the amount of people that are in our office when we're having our little mini meetings. We're practicing as safely as we possibly can. As far as the Beaver County residents, you know, they need to stay home. I know I have 4 grandchildren, and they were at my house a couple of days ago, and finally they realized that phone wasn't entertain them as well as they thought it was going to entertain them. And now they're just antsy, jumping around. But we have to stay home. We have to keep our families tight. And as Dan said, you know, take care of your neighbors. Make sure your neighbors are okay. We're one big community here. We've always been that way. There's no secrets in Beaver County. When we made the announcement about the case, a lot of people were concerned that we weren't telling the name. We're not allowed to tell the name. People think we have powers that we don't necessarily have. We can't go in and tell somebody to close down. We can't do those kinds of things. We can't even close the courthouse down without the Supreme Court. That's how important it is.
So what's
You might not be able to answer this question, but has anybody been tested from the plant?
Not to my knowledge. Not to my knowledge.
But they have a facility on site in case.
They have a medical facility.
Medical
staff.
We don't know if they do testing there or not.
What's the timeline today on when we will find out if it's yay or nay? Could it be today?
It could. I'm not sure.
This thing is so fluid, it's changing hour by hour.
So you
Just
don't know
quite
if
frankly.
they've done any testing there? You don't know if anyone has been
Not to our
sent
knowledge.
home or anything?
I think other than what you guys are getting information from the workers down there, we hear a lot of rumors. Something like this, just inside the press, we have rumor control. We don't know the individuals, whether we're getting the same emails you guys are. People are being taken off site because they have symptoms. We don't know. As I said, they have a medical facility. I'm sure they will deem it necessary on whether or not to send them to the appropriate places to get testing if they don't do testing there.
Do you think it's unusual, though? I mean, like, is the line of communication with them acceptable in your opinion? I mean, they are private. This is a private business, but they have a big reputation.
I can speak on the county's behalf. Shell has always been a good public-private partner. Their line of communication, anytime we call, they're able to take our call. Whether it's someone higher up in the food chain or not. With this situation, I wish we had a little more communication on whether or not what they plan on doing with the plant, so we could convey that to our residents throughout the county.
Will there be who's going to email us or call us if they shut down or don't?
I believe Shell would. That's going to ultimately come from. It's ultimately going to come from the decisions they make, whether it's from Shell or whether it's from the governor. We are here just to voice our opinion and concern, and urging them to take the appropriate actions.
And how many times has people called the governor today, yesterday for this issue?
I can't speak for the governor. I know we've probably fielded over 500 calls in our office the last 2 days.
But I mean, who's been in communication with the governor to say this is what we want?
Well, we've contacted. I'm sorry. I thought you meant
Okay,
residents.
that's okay.
I'm sorry.
Collectively, you've all,
We've spoken with representatives from the governor's office.
are they agreeable?
Listen.
They're listening.
They're listening. Okay.
Would you say that as far as the state leaders, like you've received the same kind of volume of calls as well?
I would say we've heard from a small percentage of workers. I think Commissioner Camp's heard from more than maybe the rest of us, but our delegation's a team. We've been working together either in person or over the phone for a couple of days, and we'll continue to do that.
We thank you guys for coming, and anything we can do, our lines are always open. Thank you.
Last question, one more question. Any update on the positive Beaver County resident that you can release?
Right now, all we know is that individual is a member of the Alacopa school community, and that was put out from the Alacopa school district.
Right. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hold on, everybody. I gotta get names.
I haven't seen you since the Georgie David days.
I know. No hugging. Don't get close to me. I know how you've been though. Good. Good.
Right.
I know Jim. I know you. I